Take off! It's time for Doug and Ben's Great NASCAR Adventure!
Thank you, as always, Marshall. Whole off season, just waiting. He's just waiting.
Yep.
Just waiting. So great to be back here. We've had the Clash, and we're going to preview Daytona 500. And there's symmetry in the chat. Sounds like my dad's, I don't know, bowling upstairs. Perfect. Yep. That's fine. And yeah. So let's see. Well, let's talk about the Clash, I guess. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Better than last year.
Way better than last year.
Now, is 99% of that because Ryan Preece actually put on a show?
No. I would say almost 100% of that would be because of who was leading that train the whole show.
Oh, I see.
Kind of stunk up the joint.
Just drop that and rolled across the floor. Perfect. I'll clean that up after the show. Anyways, yes. So for me, it was interesting because everyone was complaining, during the race. Oh, there's only one lane. You got to just nudge. But Ryan Preece is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can pass on the outside.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, sure. And we had a little drama off the track during the event as well, because during the heat races, they were inviting drivers up into the booth. And what was it? Kyle Busch and Joey Logano apparently don't get along. One of them was called a two-face.
I have no idea why. Like, they've never had any kind of issues before, have they?
Now, Joey Logano freely admits, what's up, Keith Campbell, that Joey Logano freely admits he's two-faced. Because he's, nice guy off the track, but as soon as they drop the green flag, as Denny Hamlin got bleeped out on his podcast, he's an asshole. I'll say it. We don't bleep out that here.
I concur.
Yep.
Because he did try to kill us.
Yes. Whereas Kyle Busch literally is one of the nicest guys on the track. This is according to Denny Hamlin, which I kind of agree too. He tries to give you room, race you clean, unless you run him dirty.
Yep.
And I will say now off the track, he says Kyle can be kind of brash or abrasive, but that's kind of just his personality.
I think that's just in front of the camera, to be honest with you.
No. Apparently that's just Kyle's demeanor. I'm like, well, look at his brother. His brother's just weird, talking off camera. At least he speaks English now. I think the concussion helped that somehow. Hey, Hypno works. So, so they was complaining about that. But then again, Joey's the same guy that tells you, hey, good luck, and then goes out and wrecks you 5 minutes later as soon as they drop the green. So, save it, Joey. Save it. Yep. I did enjoy Tony Stewart and Clint Boyer up in the booth. That was...
I think, it's going to be fun. And then I think even, we had the announcement before the race. I think next year's going to be even better with Harvick and Boyer in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, will Mike sit in between the two, or will he just let them kind of be off on their own?
We shall see. So yes, so your boy Truex won the Clash, and was it like it was a train ride out there?
No.
There was talk of making the event a points race. I don't know why they were talking. Where are they going to pit? Where are you going to do pit stops? You're doing heat races. You're doing the gimmick thing like the dirt race. Although we do it for the dirt race, so the gimmick's already in place as far as points racing gimmickry. Because you can't start a full field, And that was the thing. I liked Denny Hamlin mentioned on his podcast. To quote him again, can we just make the Clash the old rules? Like, you win a pole, you're in. That's it.
Was it pole or past champion? Was it not?
Of that race. It used to be past where it was similar to the All-Star race. It was one of those deals that previously won it. within
Well,
10 years.
All-Star Race is also past champion.
Now, it used to be just
Okay.
if you were an All-Star Race past winner. That was the thing. And then they changed it to you have to be a full-time driver because Mark Martin, when he won it finally, he says, well, I'm just going to show up and run this the rest of my life. And they went, not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, which I agree. I think it would have been a great race if there's only a dozen cars out there the whole time. Because we saw in the heat races, okay racing. I'm not going to say great racing, but compared to the feature, which, I'm like, is this the Charlotte late model boys? Or any
and I want to say that
short track I've ever been to?
Someone I did hear say that it was like that. That it was like some late model hooligan race type thing, but
well, yeah, especially at in the middle there where we were running all these caution laps which meant nothing, and then there was not even a green flag lap, and then another caution. It was mentioned maybe let's add 100 laps to the feature, but caution laps count.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think definitely less cars if they're gonna go back there again. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you. I didn't really notice the mufflers as an issue. Cars sounded about the same to me as far as translated through TV.
Well, yeah, my volume was the same as it always was.
Yeah, I didn't have to turn it up. Even when they said crank it up, I'm like, why? You already are. Good. The whole neighborhood doesn't need to know I'm watching a NASCAR race.
Yeah,
crank it up. Nope. Good.
And can we get rid of these celebrity people announcing the drivers?
Oh, I fast forwarded through it.
The Joe McHale idiot. He always he's got the stupidest shows. It's gonna last they give all this pump about it, and it will last 2 weeks.
Well, the only reason he's there is because he's got a new show coming out at the end of the month.
Yeah, and it's gonna last 2 weeks, and just the awkward comments his whole time. It was just like, just shut up.
Yep.
As
far as the entertainment goes, I saw some backlash. People like, why do they have this guy I've never heard of performing? Because there's a bunch of people that you don't normally see at NASCAR races up there dancing to the dude. Now, granted, oofda, as a musician, Doug, both of us, we've got a bit of a history with hip hop. We can respect the craft. But when you're just saying the same hook line, basically, I only want to call it a chorus because a chorus is usually 4 lines, but it's just like the catch line over and over. It's like, because I hit the 30-second skip. I'm like, nope, same word. Hit it again. Wait, is that all he's going to say? Is, come on, get up. Come on, get up.
Yep.
Come on. Okay, that gets the crowd started, but that's not the whole fucking song.
Well, and what I laughed at is everyone's complaining about who is this person?
Mm-hmm.
For the acts before the race and during the halftime.
Well, you're going to know one or the other. Unless you listen to nothing but Country 102.
Well, fast forward to 1 week to Tuesday. To Sunday at the Super Bowl. I've never seen so many people like, who is this guy singing the anthem? It's Chris Stapleton, who would be welcomed with open arms at a NASCAR race.
Right.
Fox flipped it to.
Yep.
But yeah, it's and even watching those, what was the guy that did the halftime?
Oh, Super Bowl halftime?
No.
You talking about? Oh, I don't know what the guy's name was. I've never heard of him.
My kid listens to him.
Well, I bet he does.
If you would have watched his his pre-race interview on the Race Hub or something like that, it would he was just talking with the glass saxophone the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, yeah, it's wrong audience.
Yeah. Well, those Cypress Hill who opened the act, they're like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah, that's right. Wes Cleveland, because it was like I said, yeah, that's gonna be like that's something I'll be doing at halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of name is Wiz Khalifa? That sounds like someone peed on my weed. What strain is this? Yeah, it tastes kind of like piss.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anywho's.
But at least none of the people went and kind of put the two fingers up the middle and had a sniff during it, like that other show on the Sunday.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway.
So it sounds like a social disease. Yeah. I got the Wiz Khalifa. Oh man. You got an ointment for that.
Yes.
So yeah. Anywho's so the Clash was the Clash. Hey, there's Absolute Mayhem even.
What I like is some of those guys had to come back because if you got turned up at the front, you were back in like 20th.
Yeah. Poor Ryan Blaney. That's all.
And and we did have the one token fire during practice.
Well, yeah, because Mazel. Yeah. Apparently they're still using that same fire retardant foam.
No, Ford isn't. It's now Toyota using that foam.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's run the exhaust.
We start off the season fantastic, getting the first ever NASCAR gold medal.
Rule change announced too. Crew chiefs no longer suspended for loose lug nuts.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that last show?
No, we didn't.
I thought we did. It was in my head.
So what does that do to all the crew chiefs that were currently serving suspensions going into 2023, eh?
Yeah. I don't know.
So, yeah, which, as again, Danny Hamlin said, it's kind of self-policing at this point.
Yeah.
And he blames Tony Stewart for the whole thing because it was Tony Stewart that opened his mouth at a press conference. Guys are deliberately only putting on 2 lug nuts in pit stops.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wonder why Danny Hamlin called out Tony Stewart about that. Could that be because Gibbs was the worst perpetrator of the 2 lug nut pit stops?
Maybe.
So, yeah. So, looking ahead to Daytona 500, we've got a full entry list. In fact,
full everything.
We may even have a car going home. Maybe more.
We have 4. We have, was it 4 cars? 2 cars. 4 cars. There's more than 1 car going home.
Really? Last I heard there was only 1 car going home.
I heard there was 6 cars. So that would leave 2 going home, I believe.
We shall see.
Not sure. But anyway, still announced yesterday morning that for the Sunday, you ain't getting in at all. All seats.
Everything's sold.
All camping, there's nothing going on. But you can still go tomorrow night to the to qualifying, to the duels on Thursday, to the truck and the Xfinity Series, just not the Sunday.
No, well, just watch that race from the Hooters across the street.
Yeah.
Mazel. Yeah. What used to be known as Speed Weeks, and then it became Speed Week, and now it's Speed 5 days.
Yep. And hearing a lot of people talking about this is going into qualifying tomorrow night.
With 0 laps.
You better hope you got some good data the other week at the Clash, because you ain't getting no data.
I hope you did not have a glitch in the Matrix when doing all the simulator work, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, which is hilarious because you literally have at least 1 driver who's never turned a lap at that track.
Yep.
Who's going to be going out qualifying his first ever lap in a Cup car at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
More than 1 guy doing that in a Cup car at Daytona. How about first time in a stock car at Daytona?
Who would that be?
Connor Daly.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Because I don't think because I know he was talking about running the truck race, but I don't think he's run a restrictor plate race yet, or whatever they call it now. Tapered space. Do we still call it restrictor plate racing, or is it tapered spacer racing, or D2
I think
racing?
It's still restricted. I think it's still a restrictor plate.
Pack racing. Who knows? So, yes.
So what I've got here, I know Keith is saying someone dropped out. I've got 42 teams for 40 spots.
Okay. Yeah, include because Jimmy Johnson.
We have Smith in the 13. We got Smith in the 13, Smith in the 36, Daly in the 50, Hill in the 62, Pastrana in the 67, and Johnson in the 84.
Right. And also breaking news announced, about an hour and a half ago now. Eric Jones will have Guns N' Roses as a sponsor.
Yes.
I'd show you the clip, but there's audio and we get flagged. But I'm not complaining. It's the Appetite for Destruction album cover on the hood, and then GNR down the side. People were complaining, oh, why would you have a band like that sponsor? I don't know. One of the biggest rock bands out there right now. Although, as they said to Doug, costs a lot of money to sponsor a car for a Daytona 500, and it's not like Guns N' Roses is really actively looking for new fans. And if so, you don't look for them at a NASCAR race. You find out, talk to, what's his name? Piss Sativa or whatever his name was there. Say, hey, where you usually play? You want new fans?
Hey,
go to there.
Wait a second. They're not announcing the pre-race concert.
Ooh.
Until the performer hits the stage.
They can't afford Guns N' Roses.
Never know.
Can't afford Guns N' Roses.
Never know.
No, I know. Doug, we know who they usually hire for these events. And I'll tell you, their paycheck, you can usually knock off 1 or 2 digits off that paycheck.
Yeah, he's getting into the sport car racing, Dennis.
No, Terry, there's a lot of rock fans in NASCAR. A lot of rock fans.
Yep.
Traditionally, it was a lot of country stuff. You had your Brooks and Dunn cars and stuff, but we've had a history, like the Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond all through the 90s. There was like the KISS car every year.
Yep.
I'm Gene Simmons, and I invented NASCAR. No, you didn't, Gene. No, you didn't. You sponsored a car. That's not inventing a sport.
Mm-hmm. I like the Legacy Motorsports going with Guns N' Roses on one car, and on the other car, Wendy's. Maybe that's Axel, with the red hair and kind of he's a little chubbier, so maybe he's been hitting up the Wendy's and they were kind of doing a double.
Him and Vince Neil going for the family packs.
Yes.
Well, no, that'd be the Golden Corral car, probably. I can see the two of them at Golden Corral, too. Oof to me. But, yeah, and then, of course, Jimmy Johnson has his, whatever that sponsor is, that's been following him around through genres of racing. Centrex or something. I don't know. It's either it makes something go up or it keeps your blood pressure down. I don't know.
Been hearing a lot of people calling in to the radio and people are asking who's going to be your big surprise this year, and people are saying, "Oh, Jimmy Johnson's going to win and he's going to dominate again."
Oh, he isn't.
If he couldn't dominate in Hendrick equipment without the laptop, he's not going to dominate here.
Carvana, thanks, Keith.
Alan?
Yeah, no. Most improved driver last year to this year? Justin Haley.
Well, I was going to ask you this here. Who do you think is someone who has to get a win this year?
Justin Haley. And Harrison Burton.
Driver who last year didn't get the victory lane and needs to get there this year.
Possibly Harrison Burton. Possibly. Yeah. Haley.
Do you look at a guy like Ryan Blaney for that as well, too?
Needs a win this year? No. No. Ooh, no. Cindric's pretty much locked in.
Well, he had a win last year.
I know, but it's the first win of the year, and who couldn't do that? Come on, anybody can win. 34 can win those races, so they're not real races. You know what? If we take away the win last week, your boy Martin, if he goes like a winless points racing, he's done. He's like, that's it. I don't need this bullshit.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I think last week helps out that team tremendously, though. Running that well.
Yeah.
Because he was never lower than, I want to say third, but even possibly fourth.
How about both of Roush Fenway's cars not making the race, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they were well off the pace. They were back there with Rick Ware Racing a full second a lap off the pace. I'm like...
Well, and then They're even talking to Andrew Petrie this week. Look at RCR, a 2-3 finish in that race as well.
Yep. I also I want to give a shout out to Denny Hamlin for calling out the absurdity that I've been talking about for ages. The stupid fucking graphics for the drivers. Denny says, while I thank you for giving me a six-pack I've never had in my life, I've also never had a goatee in my life. Where do they get he's like, who came up with who gives me a goatee? I've never had a goatee. Yep. I'm like, well, Denny, you've tried to grow a beard on multiple occasions in life, and you clearly can't. And I think that's what you need to fill it in. A little sparse there, and just saying. That's what it was. But yeah. Idiots over at Fox. Stop it with the superheroes,
Yep.
Brad Keselowski is balding and has a clear paunch. Doesn't have a six-pack and full head of hair.
Yes. Yep.
Noah Gragson has a paunch. Well, actually, I've noticed Noah lost some weight in the offseason. He wasn't looking quite as rotund as last year.
He's still got a fat head, though.
Oh, he's totally got a fat head.
Yeah.
Well, let's go for his fat ego. Lots of room. No brain up there, so lots of room.
Wendy's, he's been hitting up the sponsor. That's what he's been doing.
Could be.
Yeah. So I guess that begs the question for Rookie of the Year. Are we going Gregson or are we going Gibbs?
Gibbs has half a season under his belt already.
Well, do you go with is the dark horse Ryan Preece available for Rookie of the Year?
See, I'd love to see Ryan Preece. I don't think he's eligible, is he? He's already run full seasons. He ran the 47 forever and a day.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe yeah.
Yeah, there's only two. Hey, Guitar Man 45? No, there's only two eligible drivers because they make up the rules every year to be a rookie. Remember? Yeah. Couldn't start more than 7 races in a season. Hence, Mike Skinner, with his 100+ starts, still got Rookie of the Year because he never ran more than 7 times in a year.
Mm-hmm.
I heard an interesting factoid for you.
Oh, yeah?
What year did Dale Earnhardt Jr. attend the Daytona 500 in person for the first time?
'82.
2000, the first time he started the Daytona 500.
Oh, yeah? No.
Yep.
No, because there's video of him being there.
Nope, not at Daytona for the 500. No, even he said on the show, even when he ran Xfinity, they'd always go home Saturday night.
So he wasn't. I thought he's always been in the video when his dad won.
No. I was shocked when I heard that too.
Yeah.
But that's what he was saying. Apparently, they always went home early, or he'd be down there for speed weeks a bit. But then probably because his dad never won the race, they'd all distract, take the kids, go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. So, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with a prediction, considering we have no idea how the car. It used to be nice, even with restricted plate racing, with the off-season testing, we had a clue.
Yeah.
So it was an idea, or at least on the Tuesday going in, we've already had the qualifying, and a week of on-track activity, so we knew. I don't know.
I'm going to say
interesting.
Watch out for Busch. I think it's a new attitude there, and I think it's just I think the shackles are really off there. That was talked about. One of the I think it was Dale Jr. mentioned that because, coming from the environment of Joe Gibbs, which is, I don't want to say restrictive, but they were more along the lines of Hendrick. Like when Dale went to Hendrick, you couldn't even have facial hair at Hendrick Motorsports. Yeah,
type thing. Whereas Richard Childress is just give her, dude. He's a blue collar owner.
Yeah,
and
I even seen that he's really taken over because he got caught. He went to Mexico with coming back on his private plane, and he got caught with a gun in his luggage.
Oh.
So he's like, and as one of the guys on Sirius XM said, kind of making the boss happy.
Yeah, right. It's pretty what as well, but not just the watch, right? Got a sidearm as well.
Yeah. But
Yep. I'm gonna say keep an eye on Gregson.
I think he'll something dumb will come up. I think. And
Well, this is the thing. It's either going to be a brilliant move or a boneheaded move. Coin toss.
Yeah.
And I will say things are going to get more interesting because of that transition with more younger drivers in the series. We're not going to have the Tony Stewarts, the Dale Jarretts that are hanging in the back just doing their thing. You got the Chastains, you got the Gregsons, you got.
Well, I was going to say, did you notice that the 11 and the 1 hooked up on at the Clash, and they got into it a bit?
Oh, I noticed.
It's like they just can't get away from each other.
Yep. Or Denny said afterwards he was all mad. He goes running over to Reddick because he's all mad, or not Reddick. So I think it was in the 24. And he's like, "You hit me." He goes, "Dude, no, Harvick got pissed at me."
Yeah.
Because every time it was never just a one. It was always 3 or 4 cars back. That's just like, fuck this. And then the first guy you punt.
Yep.
I think we also still need to look at those rear toe links, considering Eric Joe spins into the rear bumper of a car in front of him and breaks the wheel.
Yeah. I think Bubba ran really, really well until he got punted out of the way as well.
He did. Yeah, I didn't like the drama seeking of Fox with the camera just waiting for him to break down or something. It was like just showing both race. I was like, yeah, we get it. Yeah. We don't need to see 5 minutes of this.
Yeah.
We get it. He's upset. We know this. Yeah. Everybody's upset. Idiots.
And I think that's where having Stewart and Boyer in the booth, they got it that it was like bull ring racing, right? And it's just they kind of right. So
yeah, the rear end hits too. Yeah, that was the other thing. Denny Hamlin was saying like it's still stiff in the rear end. Well, which you're gonna get anyways because the way it's so bumpy there anyway. Like, yeah, you got to see a car actually have impact to see how much that's changed because you can't have it where the subframes are folding in just from that light impact. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and didn't they say that they took out like every other
they took out a fair amount of bracing. I watched the let's go to our cutaway car. That's just really a series of drawings. That's not a cutaway car, Larry Mack. You haven't had a cutaway car in years.
Yeah.
It's a simulation. That's a fucking CAD drawing.
Yeah.
Not a cutaway car.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw the way they took out some straight pieces and put in some basically an angled piece, so it's a crush zone.
Yeah.
What you have in a lot of street vehicles, built-in pinch points, essentially.
Yeah.
Which fine, it's going to be more cars drop up. Because remember, that's what they're bragging about. Oh, these cars! Look at you get back into the wall, dog, and just keep on giving her. Well, yeah, but the guy's got scrambled eggs in the head now. Yeah. Whereas now they got. Even, remember, it used to be they'd clam up and all of a sudden it looked like a gremlin because it would just.
Right almost the same. They took out some of the bracing in the safer barrier itself.
Really?
I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah.
No, I don't. I
don't
like
that either. Yeah, we'll just have the Coliseum there.
Yeah, I don't like. Well, there it doesn't matter, but other track because you're gonna then have more rebound force built in.
Yeah, it was because they're at such slower speeds there as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there they could just put up Jersey barriers and then just have a forklift push them into place afterwards if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, other than that, there's some rule changes they're looking at with the Xfinity series, which people were griping about. Oh, you got to keep the cost. And what they're looking to get rid of the crab walking. I'm like, why? Because it looks ridiculous. That's why. And that forces them to buy new parts. No, it forces them to actually figure out how to get more downforce without crab walking the cars.
Yeah.
All you're doing is moving the rear end back. It's not a whole bunch of new parts.
Mm-hmm.
You just move back, run the numbers again. It's all simulation.
Yeah.
You're just paying some Poindexter to. I'll put in the numbers. That's it.
Yeah.
Just paying him.
Yeah. The other thing with this weekend is one of the smaller teams in in the truck series is blowing the budget and having Chase Elliott drive their truck for the Friday night.
Well, it will get some coverage just based on the driver name, right? Because they'll check in at some point. Oh, there he is.
Yep. And ThorSport Racing will be having Connor Jones, who's a young, I want to say 16, 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Driving some of the smaller track races for them.
Yeah.
And the 66, which is moving Ty Majeski out of the 66 into another number.
I want to say like the 99, but not necessarily the 99.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're a lot of the sponsors. Matt Crafter is going with Menards for the 20th year of sponsorship with him.
I thought you were just going to simply announce Matt Crafton has Menards as a sponsor. I'm like, that's not exactly breaking news, Doug. It's been that way for 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't tell you a sponsor other than Menards that sponsor Matt Crafton.
Yes, and the other big news that we've skipped over, and I'm surprised, Keith, you have not jumped in on this, making his unretirement in the Xfinity Series, Kyle Busch, driving for Kaulig Racing. So all that talk we had during the silly season, he still went to Kaulig.
Yep. Which is fine, because they're a good team. It's not like he needs to come in to go, hey, your equipment's doing this. They're like, we know.
So he's going to do his 5 races there. And
cool. Nothing wrong with that. It's right across the street.
Yeah.
So I wonder, does KBM move facilities?
I don't know, because they were still a pretty fair distance from Gibbs.
True.
Right?
True.
So.
I'm just curious. You did you, Keith? Okay, fair enough.
But you just didn't say it.
All right. Well, I don't know. You got anything else?
Just my pick for the 500.
Oh, let me guess. Martin?
Right there. Be my pick.
I'd like to see AJ Allmendinger do it.
You know what? He's got a chance. Well, everyone has a chance at that track. But I just think
you think about the Xfinity Series for the last number of years. You think those Kaulig cars, because remember they would line up, work with each other, and I think Haley is going to be told, okay, come here. See that? That's the sponsor on AJ's rear bumper right there. Yep. Yeah, I want you to look at that for 500 miles.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Even if he's on his roof, I want you to follow him. I'm just saying, you do not just follow him.
I've heard a lot of people saying Justin Haley's a dark horse winner.
That's possible too, because AJ doesn't have enough ego to pass and throw his teammate under the bus at the end type thing. He would push a teammate to the win type thing.
Yeah, like he said, I'd like to, watch out for Harvick. I think he's gonna, But then, how much of all the pre-race stuff that he's going to be running into this year? How is that going to affect him?
I don't think it's going to affect him a whole lot.
Because you could see him kind of get a little emotional at the start when they're doing all the video tributes for him at the start of the coverage there at the Clash. So
yeah, we'll see.
But
I don't know. I better suck it up then. Otherwise, you may have an early retirement.
The other thing is, after the Clash, did you see there was no tears?
I did notice that.
And I think...
I saw glassy eyes, but they seemed like tears of joy.
Yeah. Well, I think because he just finally got through that and just all the tough stuff that they went through last year, without the win. And I think that team just needed that. Just that, we can get back there, especially at a short track. that everyone keeps saying that he sucks at. I just think that was.
I never understood that. They're like, oh, these guys suck on short track. They all started on short tracks.
Yep.
All of them. Well, no. 90% of them or more. Some of them started on road courses. Let's be honest. Some did start on road courses. So
yep.
That's fine. Yeah. So sure. Other than that, I haven't heard anything more about the possible foray of Hendrick into IndyCar.
No.
I haven't heard anything more about that.
There was the idea of being bantered around about a possible New York City area race.
Honestly, they've been talking about that for years.
Yeah.
You know, for every series, IndyCar wants to go, Formula One wants to go there. Everybody wants to go.
Now, I just want to go and watch Bowman Gray when we go down. That was in Mr. Ellis's backyard.
Mm-hmm. Know a few people up in that neck of the woods.
Just pull the camper into his backyard, and we'll just kind of hang out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. Okay. Well, we should probably we'll be back next week, right?
We will be. Are we going to have a third person on just in case I have bad cell?
No.
Okay. So it could just be you.
Might just be me.
Could just be you. I will be poolside. I will be watching the 500 from the pool.
Right. Remember, keep the camera close. We don't want to see any senior citizen European women without most of their swimsuit on. It's just wrong.
Maybe I'll bring something back for you.
No. I've already been to the Dominican. Been there, done that. Drink the El Presidente beer. It's not bad.
Sure. I might just stick to the hard stuff. You know me.
True. Ask for it with no ice.
Well, no. Apparently, they ship the ice in. Apparently,
that's what they tell you.
Yeah. Well.
I stayed with the ice cold beer.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yep. So on that note, he's been Doug. I've been Ben. Y'all been y'all. And we've been NasCanucks. Please subscribe if you're new. Should have mentioned that at the beginning of the show.
Sure.
And of course, if you're watching on replay, say howdy.
Yeah. I'm not a big rum guy, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, when in the Caribbean, I guess.
Yeah. And then again,
New Year. Is he still going to burn his hand?
Don't fuck it up this time. Get your finger out of there. See you, Martin.